so far rate, rhythm, axis, and voltage. B wave. So from today, or from now, we're going to speak about P wave, PR interval, PR segment, and QRS, ST segment, T wave, and so on. So now in that lecture, we're going to cover P wave and PR interval. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you know about P wave? It represents, as we agreed in the first lecture, the atrial depolarization. Is not the atrial contraction. Okay. How many atrium we have? Two. How they can come together with simple P wave?
Well, they don't always.
The issue is that it is a tiny contraction, in fact, or tiny. It's not like the heart. It's the ventricle, and it starts at the right atrium, and it has an access to the left atrium, and it goes quickly. They simultaneously supposed to work together, but there is a point of something delay, which can give us an idea about the P wave. That the first half approximately is right atrium activity, and the other half is for the left atrium activity. It's important information because it's going to affect the changes I'm going to discuss later. So how it looks like, rounded, and the best is seen in lead 2. Any comments about rate, rhythm, B wave, we speak about lead 2. When we ask sometimes about long strip to see how things goes, we need lead 2, because the best lead to describe these things. Why? Lead 2 falls here.
Yeah.
It's absolutely positive always. Can see the heart direct.
Yeah.
It's the position of lead. Can you remember the?
I thought that was lead. That was lead 1. Lead 2 was meant to be like.
Yeah. Because the apex is here.
Yeah.
Lead
Oh
two.
yeah.
Can see it all.
Mm.
Lead 1, B wave always positive as well.
Mm-hmm.
And this one criteria I'm going to discuss about later. But lead 2 is the best way and the best lead to see the activities, rate, rhythm, and structures of the B waves and so. How much wide and height? So it's up to, it's not supposed to be, but up to 2.5 small squares in both dimensions. Okay? Because up to, it means less than, that's why. This is a big square. Sorry, this is a small square, and the 5 of it makes big square. It's okay?
Mm-hmm.
So it's supposed to be not more than 2.5. Here it is 2, and not more than 2.5, and here it is only 1.5 maybe. Okay. Can we translate 2.5 to minutes to seconds?
Oh, I did know this from my exam.
One small square is equal to 0.04. So 2 small squares 0.08.
0.04. So yeah.
So maybe 0.1, 2.5. It's the maximum. Okay. Normal variations. It means it can be normal with these variations. So we expect, come back to the leads. I need you to understand, not to just try to memorize. Understand. Logic again. Same picture I have shown you in axis. Lead 1 is there. We expect positive. Lead 2 is there. We expect
Positive.
And AVL is looking at that side also. We expect
Positive.
AVR,
Negative.
V1,
Negative.
V2,
In between.
5 and 6 and 4.
Positive.
The chest leads.
Yeah.
It's just think about it. So upright in lead 1 to AVF, V3 to V6. Is that okay? You don't need to just memorize everything. When you understand, you can guess. Just close your eyes, imagine that picture, and you can get it. Inverted in EVR because EVR looks from the side. Variable in lead 3, V1 and 2, and the AVL. Sometimes we see a bivasic in V1, inverted in V1, isn't it? This is how it looks normally. So up, it's up there, a bit, What is the EVR? Can I see it? Negative in EVR. Okay. How it looks. B wave abnormalities. Okay. Have you heard before about P pulmonale and P mitral? Have you heard? What does it mean?
P pulmonale is when you have like a peaked P wave due to right atrial enlargement, and P mitral is where you have like an M shape due to left atrial enlargement.
Good. So if we have a chamber enlargement, we expect the wave represented by this chamber to the SG to be significant or magnified. Simple logic tells that, isn't it? But again, we are speaking about two chambers. They are presented by only B wave. So we have to think about which part represents which one. So the first half of the B wave represents the right atrium, and the second half of the B wave represents the left atrium. Okay? In B pulmonale, it is pulmonary artery, which is the right side of the heart. Why they name it like that? You can ask them. But B pulmonale, it means right side, just by logic. B pulmonale, pulmonary artery in right ventricle, it means we are speaking about right atrium. It means right atrial enlargement. You don't need to be confused. Okay, so the first part of the wave supposed to be big one, isn't it? Big one, very big one. And at the end, the left side is going to contribute. Is it simple? Okay. So what about the B mitral? What's the mitral? What's mitral valve? Which is one side? What side? So it means left atrium. So B mitral, it means left atrial enlargement. Okay. Let's think. So right atrium started the peak normally, nothing wrong with right atrium, and they started to go down, waiting for the left atrium to complete as normal. But the left atrium is not normal; is enlarged. So he is going to have it more. He will go for another more hump. So it's like camel with two humps. Does it make sense? Very quick. So left atrial hypertrophy or B mitral, this is the right atrial part. It's supposed left atrium to come and just close it off, but left atrium, because enlarge it, get another hump there. So it will be wide, more than 2.5, ideally more than 3 small square, and bifid, like 2 humps, like cameo. How chosen left in V1? A biphasic with approximately equal limbs. Right atrial hypertrophy, which is B pulmonale, it will be big than 3. Here 12 seconds means 3. More than 3 small squares, and the right atrial actually get big one, and the component of the atrium just hidden inside, you know. And how it looks in the V1, big one, and the deflection, small deflection of the left atrium because it's not enlarged. Can we have both? We can. And actually, right, left heart can affect right hand can affect left by physiology. It's only a matter of time. Okay, so you can see. So you can see a big one with a bifid. So big and wide with bifid. Have you got it? And here, big one with big one down. Mix it. So the big one here, the big one here. Mix it in V1. Is okay? Is that all right, my dears? Okay. What's that? B mitral. Simple and easy. What's that? P pulmonale. See how big it is? Yes. Okay.
Can you enlarge the P mitral? The P mitral.
Bifid one.
Oh, okay. There we go. Sorry.
Bifid and white.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
This P pulmonale one, would you not see that in like hypokalemia, like the tall P, tall
Oh,
to
T
the
wave.
That's hyperkalemia.
It means
Yeah, hypokalemia is the opposite, so you get like the peaked P waves.
You see, the hypokalemia and the hypocalcemia usually slow everything,
Okay.
make everything big, you know. So, prolonged PR, bradycardia, prolonged QT, everything is long, slowly.
In hypothermia.
Going to sleep, yes, everything is. Just wait, why you're in hurry? It is the hypo.
Okay.
Hyper, they're in hurry. So, again, another thing to just memorize. B mitral starts with M,
Yeah.
which is a bifid one.
Yeah.
Easy. What's this? What about B wave? Can anyone comment about this B wave?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's normal.
Okay. It looks normal overall, but for me it is not. Okay. Lead one never has a negative lead one. Never has.
Oh.
I have seen it in my life once. I don't know why. Okay, but never negative. Can be negative somewhere else for any other explanation, but lead one cannot be negative. And if we have seen a negative B wave here, deflection of the complex also is different here. EVR is positive with B wave positive in EVR. What does it mean?
Leads on
Wrong leads.
Long leads. What more?
Dextrocardia.
Dextrocardia. How can differentiate?
Looking at the patient.
Clinically, yes. I appreciate, yeah. But I want to don't go beyond here. Even if you know negative. How you can differentiate? Anyone has an idea about
It is.
what we expect? What I'm telling is either dextrocardia or reversed limb leads. Because either by mistake, the right lead was supposed to be in the right arm went to the left one, or the left one went to the right one. Or they are normal, but the heart has been shifted right to left. Yeah? Okay? So, if the heart in place, everything correct except these two leads, what I'm expecting in chest leads, usually we have a progression in chest leads. R wave has progressed to start initially small. We're going to discuss about that in the next lecture, but just a quick differentiation. R wave is supposed to be small, getting larger as we move to V6 until V6 will be absolutely positive complex. So if it goes this way, we are most likely speaking about reversed limb leads. But if it is not going this way, I have two options. Either this dextrocardia, that's why the heart is there, and the progression is not going to be happen at all, because the heart is there, I'm going in the wrong way, so there's no R progression or poor R progression, or still it is in place, but the patient have an old ischemia. That's why he's having a poor R progression. Okay, so it's just a clue. If you found a good progression of R wave in chest leads, we speak much about leads more than the dextrocardia. And the most common is lead mistakes more than dextrocardia. It is not that common, you know. Is okay? Inverted B wave, dextrocardia, reversal arm leads, especially in lead 1, EVL, we'll find it positive in EVR, which is not the right one. Is okay? Easy? So when I told you to check the ECG, initially in the first lecture I told you need to check the calibration, 25 as a speed, and 10 millimeter per 1 millivolt as a voltage. It is the calibration. If this is wrong, you need to adjust the machine and repeat it again. And the second check is the B wave here and the EVR there, to be sure that this has not been displaced. Is that alright? Then you can go ahead for your interpretation. Okay. Absent B wave can be? Can be. ECG has no ECG. Can you give an example?
Ventricular fibrillation.
AF?
Yeah, I've said
What?
P wave, right?
Absent B wave, yeah? What else?
In paced rhythms, ventricular paced rhythms.
Makes sense?
AVNRT.
Sorry?
AVNRT.
AVRT. Can you explain? I don't understand this.
AVNRT, atrial ventricular nodal reentry tachycardia.
Okay, nodalism. AV node.
Yeah.
Yeah, nodalism, absolutely. Or we call it junctionism. It is what we use. Junctionism, absolutely. But you can find B wave sometimes. Reverted one.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but yes, basically no B wave. Ventricular rhythm. So junctional rhythm, ventricular rhythm. Okay? This type of arrhythmia, I'm going to have a separate lecture for it. Lots of arrhythmias as a gradual take. Okay? But just an example of absent B wave. And here absolutely there is an AF case, and you cannot detect a specific B wave. This is not B wave, it's just fibrillary wave. You know? It is just fibrillary wave, it's not B wave. So it's an absent B wave. Okay? Multiple B waves. It means B waves are more than the complexes. What when we can see it in heart blocks. So for example, in the first degree of step 1, we're going to speak about heart blocks in separate lecture. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I have only 5 complexes. So it means B waves are multiple. 3 B waves before each complex is atrial flutter. Again, multiple B waves. Different morphology. I have seen it many times here. I have seen it with me, Yasmin. And sometimes you find AF. Globally looks like AF. Irregular rhythm. Isn't it? But B wave is there. Which actually don't go with AF. So look at the B wave here. Can you see that B wave? Lead 2. How it looks? Big one? Okay. Here. Is it the same? Not the same. Inverted. Inverted. You can maximize. Different. All difference. Isn't it? More than 2 different morphology in B waves gives the diagnosis. It means not 2, more than 2, 3 and more, to make it simple. Different morphology tells you there are some other focuses in generating the B wave other than the SA node. SA node might give one of them, that's fine. But some other focuses are sharing. So, and they are coming irregular. So B wave from here, from that focus, then after a while, from that, after a while, from that, and they are going irregularly to the ventricle. So it gives the shape of AF, which is irregularly irregular, but B wave is there. What you call it? MAT. Multifocal atrial tachycardia. Is it okay? So it can come with different morphology. Is it clear? PR interval. What is PR interval? It starts from which area to which area? Somebody knows.
From the start of P to the start of R.
Start of R, of the complex, yeah. So, was that normal range? Is 3 small square to?
5 small squares.
Okay, and sometimes if we found it up to 6, we close our eyes. But we cannot close our eyes beyond 6. Is it okay? So 3 to 5, measures from the B wave to beginning of R wave, and it represents the conduction from the atria to the AV node. In fact, the PR segment, not the interval only from the end of the B till the beginning of the R, it is the delay in conduction done by the AV node. It is physiological phenomenon to allow the blood to go through the atria to the ventricle along some time, then the implant is going to move to the ventricle to pump the blood chasing. Is that all right? So normally you have some delay, which is the end of B to the start of R. And the B wave is the atrial activity itself. So if we speak about PR interval, not segment, interval is the beginning of B to the beginning of R.
To the beginning of R, to the peak of R?
No, it's the beginning point. The junction between the segment and the R, the dot, they start having a positive deflection. This spot is the end of the interval. Speaking about the peak of R, I'm going to speak about it in the complex because it has a very good tool to assess something. I don't have to confuse people, but it is not a PR level. Okay? It will come in QRX next lecture. Okay. Here is the B wave. This is the BR segment and the interval O. From the beginning of B to the beginning of the complex. Is that alright? No one, I cannot tell no one, okay? But it's not famous. The people start to speak about the PR segment. Have you heard about someone speaking about PR segment? No. Always PR interval, but I'm going to speak about PR segment in a while. It is significant, okay? Can be prolonged? Yes. In first degree heart block. Some digital toxicity, hypokalemia, okay? Hypokalemia, atherosclerosis, digital toxicity, whatever cause a delay in PR interval. So not only a block, something else can do the same.
I think I saw it in a patient with lithium toxicity as well. They got a heart block.
I was there in Trajan's time. Do you remember?
Yeah. She was, yeah.
I told you the drug effect, and it was variable.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I told you it's a mechanical block. It's difficult to get variability fluctuating from a degree to another degree. But if it's chemical, it sounds more ideal, isn't it? So, can we see the interval here? It's not clear, but obviously prolonged one. Okay? What is the first degree heart block? Okay. What is this? Anyone knows? What's the BR? Let's speak about the BR interval.
It's not just, oh no, it's very short.
Very short.
Yeah.
So we know that 3 to 5 is normal. So below than 3 is short, more than 5 is long, isn't it? So it is long, shorter than 3. So why? What we call it? Yeah.
WPW.
Yes, thank you. This WW. Why with WW? How can diagnose it?
Slurred upstroke.
Short where?
Slurred upstroke can lead to the
Upstroke. The upstroke. Do you know what we call it? Delta wave.
Yeah.
Can you see that? You know, there is upstroke. It's not just a straight line. It's not a straight line. It's going this way with upstroke. You know, what we call it? Delta wave. You can't see in any other. You see, here it's very clear. We call it delta wave. Okay. I need to understand. We assume that the impulse is going in the right way. What will happen? BR is going to be until that line, for instance, and the complex, can you imagine, comes down there. Can you imagine that? But what happened? Another limb came here. Came from where? Is another accessory pathway. Usually, the impulse goes to the AV node to stay there for a while until the ventricle gets filled, isn't it? But in presence of other pathway other than the AV node, if the impulse can go through that tunnel, it's not going to wait. Because it's the characteristic of that tissue there is not the same characteristic of the AV node, so it's going to just go through. If it gets through, it's going to start the impulse in the ventricle. That's why the upstroke came. What about the other one? That one is the normal one. When the time comes to the AV node to release the impulse, then it started to peak. So it will be the junction between the the accessory one and the normal one. You got it? So if that pathway, we push it by one finger to close it, BR will be normal and segment will come on time and R wave start on time. Did you understand of I'm not able to deliver it? Not able to deliver it, okay. Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay.
So are you saying if you drew like a line down from the top of the upslope, if it's still 5 squares and it's still normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You see that one? If we came down straight,
Yeah.
it will come here.
Yeah.
We will find a normal BR.
Oh, okay. So it takes the same amount of time because it's a longer path, although it doesn't have
Because
a delay.
yeah, but the new path has no delay. That's why it quickly after the B started to be to start the R wave immediately after, and at the time the other impulses came to the AV node. It started also to pass
Oh,
in.
so 2 pathways going at the
Yes.
same time. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
Both are going, but
Yeah.
one just get through quickly, and the other one just waited as it's supposed to be, and then join together at the end, make that delta wave.
Okay, so you have the normal R wave and then the delta wave, right?
No, you have the delta wave, then the normal one, which makes the complex
Oh,
wide.
sorry, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
You understand?
Okay.
It makes the complex wide.
Yeah.
But originally it's not supposed to be wide.
Mm.
It's not on heart block or sorry, not bundle branch block. No.
Mm.
It's just an early release of the impulse through an accessory pathway. Is that makes sense? Isn't it? Good. It's what we call it WBW.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay? Good. WBW. Okay. Do you have another example for short BR? Do we have? Do we have? Can you see that ECG? Is that short PR or normal PR interval?
This is short, yeah.
Short PR interval.
Mm.
Okay. So is the complex is wide? Is there any delta wave?
No.
No. So it is WW?
No.
No. So what is this?
Yeah, it looks like the P is very tall.
LGL syndrome.
What's
You'll never get it because that's why I made it still short, because it's not usually seen and it's not in discussion mostly. So LGL is similar physiologically and treatment wise and whatever to WW. The difference is that the WW has an accessory pathway, and this accessory pathway makes what I just explained.
Yeah.
Here the accessory pathway is in the junction itself.
So it's not got that specialized tissue that causes the block.
Yeah, so it goes through quickly and no delay, so no extra, and treatment way, whatever the preventive management, similar to WW. Okay? And LGL stands for something long and
Oh, yeah.
Okay. PR segment. We don't usually speak about PR segment, but I do. PR segment is important because no one is usually trying to interpret the PR segment from the baseline. If I speak about segment, not interval, segment, we are discussing about how variation it does with the baseline, either up or down.
Okay.
The word segment. If we speak about the interval, we speak about prolongation or shortening, like QT and whatever. It makes sense. So BR segment, I meant the end of B to the start of the R or the complex. This is the BR segment. Is it significant to assess its variability with the baseline?
I guess so.
Why?
Pericarditis.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely. What is the baseline? How can I assess the baseline in an ECG?
The line just before you enter P.
Yeah, is end of T to the start of B is isoelectrical, no electrical.
Isoelectric.
Yeah, isoelectrical one. So no activities at that time. So the T of the previous, B of the coming waves is the isoelectrical. People usually do a mistake of comparing, for example, ST segment with the BR. So they put in the BR, oh, ST is elevated. No. It's not the isoelectrical. BR is not isoelectrical. The isoelectrical we are comparing of is the TB. T of the previous, B of the next. This is the TB. Obviously, I can see depression here. Isn't it? Even ST segment is obviously elevated. Can you compare?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see it over here as well. This is V6, V5 same way. This is the line elevated here. The ST and the BR is depressed there. Again, depressed. This is the isoelectrical line. Can you see the isoelectrical line? It's so important to know what they are comparing with to avoid any issue. Here is the BR elevation. Is the criteria of pericarditis. I'm going to speak about pericarditis again with the ST segment, but one of the criteria to have a BR segment depression in the leads which has ST segment elevation, opposite way.
Okay.
Okay, and we have AV BR elevation in the leads has ST elevation, like AVR and the V1 sometimes. Okay, most of the leads will have BR segment depression and ST elevation. characteristic of other characteristics of pericarditis I'm going to discuss with ST segment at the time. Okay. Any questions? That was clear. Any confusion? Okay, guys. Sorry, I'm not taking this that much. That's why it doesn't result in neglecting you or forgetting you. Okay. Thank you anyway for your listening. Yeah.